Good afternoon, dear fathers, brothers gathered here. I am indeed elated to deliver my speech on Brother Anthony Kwasik OMI, the servant of God. I would like to share with you my personal experience with Brother Anthony Kwasik, who helped me in finding my lost things through his intercession. Once, when I was working in the garden during my novitiate in Godfrey, Illinois, US, Father Jack, the associate novice master who lost the shovel. So I asked him to pray and seek the intercession of Saint Anthony of Padua. In reply, he said to me jovially, Saint Anthony of Padua is busy with finding the lost things of so many. But I always seek the intercession of Brother Anthony Kwasik, who helps me in finding my lost things. Of course, he found the shovel through the intercession of Brother Anthony. It was a great horn experience in my life. After coming back to India, I was doing my retreat as post novice in Anmodaya Ashram, Kanchipuram. During my retreat, while working as group, someone lost spade. I told them to pray to Brother Anthony, but they teased me. Personally, I prayed to Brother Anthony for the lost spade. I got it within 3 hours. Some of you may not believe in it, and some may think it happens naturally. The third incident I experienced in Puttayagudam, Andhra Pradesh, where I lost my watch, money, other things such as gifts, items, and so on. I told my superior, Father John Thomas, who told me not mind about the theft. I informed my parents, who said to me the same. But I sought the intercession of Brother Anthony, who helped me find a person who took all my things. To speak the truth, in this case, all, including people of Puttayagudam, discouraged me. But my belief in the intercession of Brother Anthony helped me to get my lost things. After knowing my experience about and my witness to Brother Anthony Kwasik, now let me talk about his life as a second topic. Life of Brother Anthony Kwasik. Anthony Kwasik was born on June 4th, 1866 in Poland. His parents, Ignatius and Lucy, were devout Catholics. After apprenticing in Poland, he traveled to Germany to pursue work as a blacksmith. It was here that he became familiar with the work of the Oblates of Mary Immaculate and joined as their religious brother. He was anxious to work in the mission and came to Canada in 1896. Posted to Lac Page, he had a terrible accident at the mission sawmill. His hand was caught in a pulley. He had to withstand a 120-mile journey by horse and car to Edmonton over terrible roads to receive treatment. He endured the journey without complaint, but by the time he reached Edmonton, 6 days after the accident, gangrene had set in and the arm had to be amputated. The surgery took place without anesthetics. Brother Anthony meditated on his oblate cross and gave no indication of being in pain. After his recuperation at St. Albert, Brother Anthony moved to St. Paul of the Metis. Here he worked with the Indian and Metis, praying with them and helping them with their worldly needs. Brother Anthony's longest posting was at St. John's College in Edmonton, where he served from 1911 to 1947. To the students and staff, he was Brother Away, known for his devotion and love to Mary, our Blessed Mother. When students requested his prayers during examinations, he would remind them to say an Ave, which means Hail Mary. When the washing machine refused to work, he would drop to his knees, say an Ave, and the machine would begin working. He spent long hours after his many jobs at the college in prayer before the Blessed Sacrament. Brother Anthony was beloved by all. He was a humble, devout, and obedient brother, truly living his religious vows. As an immigrant, Brother Anthony experienced loneliness, difficulty with language, alienation in a new culture. Conclusion for our life. What we can learn from his life for our life is the followings: missionary zeal, men of prayer, love for Mother Mary, and hard work. Let us imbibe these qualities for our life and for fruitful mission. Thanks for your patient listening.